Good afternoon, everybody. Um, I have been given a topic. I was wondering what I should speak and came prepared with all sorts of stuff. Thinking I'll tell what is vigilance and what is preventive vigilance and punitive vigilance, duties of CVOs and VOs, what are the problems that one encounters regarding implementation of various vigilance-related actions. I came prepared with some stuff like this, but I find that I have been given a subject, morals and ethics in government. So I'll try to sort of improvise and speak. I've just seen the subject just now. I was not aware about it. The first thing I'd like to place before you is that values have a source. From where do I derive values? I must derive that value from somewhere. Normally, values are derived from an individual's philosophy of life. But then in India, there is no such word called philosophy, just as there is no word equivalent to rights. You have this word called rights. But let's say a Western or Semitic or European concept. What is the equivalent of a right in Sanskrit? At least in my native tongue of Telugu, there is no equivalent original term for the word rights. So you have taken the Arabic term called haq and you simply Teluguized it by adding u and you call it hakku. Because there is no original equivalent in Sanskrit or in any Indian language, you do not have an equivalent term for rights. There are only duties, dharmas. Raja dharma, Pitru dharma, Bhratru dharma, Pati dharma, Patni dharma, this dharma, Paura dharma, citizenship rights, duties. So you only have duties or dharmas. This word dharma is also wrongly interpreted. After we have made Hindi as official language, they have developed some Hindi, what is that, equivalent for all kinds of words, and we have WhatsApp posts circulating saying equivalent for locomotive. Some funny kind of derived word is there, which I fail to, if anybody can remember that word, they can enlighten. Lohapat something, Kamini, Gajagamini, Lohagamini, something, Patak, Shatak, Patak, something ऐसा लगा के जो है आपने एक word derive किया. So, similarly, just as there are no equivalent term for rights in India, there is no equivalent term for the word philosophy also. You have this word philosophy in English, you may have something called falsafi or something in Urdu. I'm not very good at, or I know very little of Urdu, but probably that's the word in Urdu for philosophy. But in India, in ancient India, in Sanskrit or in any Indian language which ultimately have evolved from Sanskrit, you don't have any equivalent for philosophy. You only have something called darshana. You have darshana shastra. And you can have darshan of, I think I just close this original something I brought about vigilance. So So darshan. Darshan किसका हो सकता है? That which is there. If it is not there, then you cannot see it. So, you can only see if it is there, if it is true, if it exists, then only you can see it. So, what is thought to be philosophy by the Westerners is actually Darshana Shastra in India. And this Darshan Shastra has given rise to the value framework of this land. That is because from your worldview or philosophy you derive a normative framework, norms, values, ethics. These are all synonymous, coterminous words. So your value framework, your normative framework is derived from your philosophy. And then your value framework will give you an ideological predisposition, and that will inform you what is to be done, what is not to be done, what is right, what is wrong. Dharma is nothing but what is right and what is wrong. But like that Loha, Khatak, Phatak, something, they have made dharma into religion. Dharma is not religion. In Telugu, the word for religion is matam. Matam is religion. Matam is a word derived from mati, your mind. So, whatever you like by way of some theistic practice, that is your religion. So, somebody wants to worship some particular deity, Shiva, Vishnu, this, that and the other. उसका मति के अनुसार वो उसको अच्छा लगता है वो कर रहा है. That is religion. That has nothing to do with darshan. That is only a theistic practice. He is practicing it in a particular way, practicing worship in a particular way. So that is matam. It is not dharma. Dharma is what is that which tells you the appropriateness of a thought, a word or a deed. This is adharma. This is dharma. I am using the word adharma because I am contrasting dharma with adharma. Then only you are able to place. Otherwise, with the All India Radio kind of Hindi news bulletin, everybody thinks dharma means religion. Dharma nirpeksha. Some peculiar derivatives we have given to ourselves, some peculiar thoughts because of wrong use of words, and that wrong use of words is because there is no clarity about anything. We are actually a confused nation. So maybe that is why we are where we are today. Dharma is the appropriateness of a thought, a word or a deed. If an Indian army soldier is fighting a terrorist in Kashmir or fighting invader in Kargil, it is dharma for him to kill the enemy. But if the same fellow, when he is not on duty, he is on leave, goes back to his native place and he kills somebody, that's murder. Here it is inappropriate act, there it is appropriate act. So dharma tells you the distinction between appropriateness and inappropriateness. And these appropriatenesses and inappropriatenesses of all actions have been laid down as don'ts and do's, not do's and don'ts. I hope I am not boring everybody. In English you say do's and don'ts, but in India it is don'ts and do's. It is yama and niyama, not niyama and yama. You might have come across this sequence of these two words, yama, niyama. I don't know. Have you? So, yama is don'ts. Niyama is do's. If you do not successfully practice all the don'ts, that is, you refrain from doing that which you should not do, how will you be able to successfully practice what you should do? So first ensure that you don't do what you should not do. Then you will be able to do what you should. That is why yama and niyama. All dharma, that is appropriateness of something, is it right, it is wrong, is all listed out as yama and niyama. So Raju Dharma, Raja Dharma. At one point of time, one Prime Minister had told one Chief Minister कि राज धर्म का पालन करना चाहिए. Context जो समझ सकते समझे. Which Prime Minister said that? So there is a question of doing what you must and refraining from doing what you must not. So every duty or every dharma, it's a framework of what you should not do and what you should do. So that is dharma. So the Indian civilization is dharma based. This is a dharma based civilization. It's a dharma based culture. And this culture is derived from the darshanas or the philosophy of this land. And that is also encapsulated in the four goals of human existence called dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Whether you desire moksha or not, first of all, you must ensure that you are in the. What subsequently you do or you don't do is a different issue, but first goal of human existence is to ensure that you are within the framework of dharma. That is right conduct, right action, right thought also. Right thought also. Because there is this idea of trikarana. The three instruments of action. Thought, word and deed. And in India, thought has always been placed higher than word or deed. In India, thought has been considered more powerful. Sankalp is only thought. Actually, you are not going and doing it, you are making a sankalp. So this is sankalp shakti. Therefore, thought is more important. So the dharma is appropriateness of something in thought, word as well as in deed. You can't think something, say a second thing and do a third thing. That means you have no integrity. There is no backward and forward integration in your personality. सोचता कुछ है, बोलता कुछ, करता कुछ और. No integration between thought, word and deed. So I define integrity as you do what you say what you think and do what you say. So we take some vigilance pledge. We have some workshop, some karkhana, and we've been doing it regularly every year. Nevertheless, as ultimately, citizen, is he happier today than he was 50 years ago? Is citizen satisfied as a result of the services government is rendering? Are all governmental organizations working at optimum efficiency and effectiveness? Have we successfully ensured that there is no loss or wastage of public money, loss of public wealth? Have we truly successfully ensured that you eradicate bribery, corruption, etc., etc. If the answer is a big question mark, then it means that we do not do what we say and we don't say what we think. So there is a question mark on integrity. Fundamental question mark on integrity across the board. Now, is that integrity because of the environment, the culture, the work culture? The same person of India who goes abroad to the US or somewhere else, there he is working very well. Why he cannot work here? What are the influences that are operating on him? What are the limitations which the environment is placing upon him? If he has a brain that produces excellent results somewhere, why that same brain cannot be put to good use here? These are all questions which we can debate ad nauseum, but ultimately the root goes back to values. The root goes back to values. Recently, I have seen these posts which circulate in social media, WhatsApp, that in Japan you can forget your cell phone or laptop, and when you are taking some coffee or something in a restaurant, it will be there only. Nobody will. I think somebody you might have seen that WhatsApp. Somebody might have. That is true. Nobody will bill for it. You leave unlocked your scooters, two-wheelers, they are just left unlocked. Nobody will steal them. So there is a moral or ethical fiber in that particular nation. Is it so difficult for us to have that moral or that ethical fiber? Is a question which I think every individual must ask himself or herself. I can't tell somebody that it is